In our profession, you know it's best to be honest, right?
No, I know.
There is a open container of alcohol in your vehicle. Have you been drinking at all today?
No, that's...
Corrupt cops are used to breaking the law and walking away unharmed. But today we'll be going through some cases where these officers were caught, confronted, and humbled by their own colleague. Make sure to watch until the end as they suffer the consequences of their own evil actions. On July 4th, 2022, Eustis police officers were sent to pull over a uniformed police officer after multiple reports of reckless driving. When they arrived, they found him visibly intoxicated.
Why is it all yellow? It's all good. Hey, Officer Oscar, why don't we come back out here real quick? Come back here, boss man. It's all good.
Hey, man. So, can you just put your hands on the roof for me? I'm going to remove your gun, okay? You got any other weapons?
No, but I'm post seizure. You're prone to seizures? Okay, I'll turn my lights off real quick for you, alright?
What's going on, man?
You know my seizures might act up right now.
Okay, do you need EMS?
No. Here, let's just lean against my car real quick, alright? Alright, right here. It may get a little hot and smell the car. Alright? Well, it's all good. He said that his rifle's in the back. It was in the center console when I talked to him. It was in a cup holder. It's not there. More than welcome to...
What time did you get off work today, man? What time did you get off work?
6:30.
6:30?
The officer was 26-year-old Oscar Mayorga from the Apopka Police Department. Fully uniformed, he was on his way to work, but had clearly started his day with more alcohol than he could handle.
What time? What?
4 a.m.
4 a.m.? You work night shift?
Yeah, 8:30 at night, 2:30 in the morning.
Are you heading to work? Or where are you going?
You said you lived off of Atwater. It's all good. I'm right here if you need a lean.
Hey, if you work nights, where are you going right now?
I work, day shift. It's all good. I'll make sure you don't fall. You want to sit down? Here, you can sit down in the grass if you want.
The responding officers could tell that this was far worse than seizures. Moreover, they could smell a strong smell of alcohol coming from him, and a search of his vehicle left no doubts.
You almost fell, so I want to sit you down in the grass, okay? So,
Sit him in the back of the car.
you want to sit in the back of my car where there's AC? You're not in trouble.
Listen, do you need EMS or no?
No.
If you're acting like this way, I'd rather them come
Here.
and make sure you're okay.
Let's sit in the back where there's AC. All right, you're not in trouble. That way.
No, I know. I'm just trying to...
All right, come on. Ready?
42
Okay, sit
uses.
down. All right.
Can you have EMS en route? He can't even stand properly. He keeps falling.
Moments later, a witness approached the officers, describing how dangerously Mayorga had been driving and put others at risk.
Was from Lowe's in Mount Dora all the way around a couple of blocks here, Center Street and whatever the other street is.
We'll give him a call back in a minute. I'm speaking to complaint again.
Yeah, Center Street and Firewood.
Yes, sir.
All over the road, stopping in the middle of the street, off the road, running stop signs, a lot of stuff going on.
Okay.
With this guy. And I tried to call the Apopka PD, of course, they say they closed. So we just called 911, I guess it went to you guys.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure other people was probably calling you.
Okay.
But,
yeah, we got a call.
Yeah, he could be having a medical condition, but he was asleep. We passed by his car, he was asleep.
He was asleep?
He was
When did you pass by his car?
Right over here at Center and Firewood.
Okay.
We turned the corner, he was coming this way, we turned the corner because we kind of lost him.
All right.
But I have everything on video.
You do? Would you be able to email that to one of our officers?
Yeah, the guy just gave me a card here.
This individual also happened to be a retired police officer and complied with the cop. With undeniable evidence that Mayorga was intoxicated and passed out behind the wheel, one of the officers approached to confront him head on.
10-26.
How long you been with this department?
Just over 3.5 years.
Was it Captain Bertholger?
He just retired.
He did.
Yes, sir.
When I was a lieutenant, man, this guy took a class up in Tallahassee together for 9 months, senior leadership class. That was back in 2012, though.
No, he's a great dude, man. He just retired, though. He was our intern chief for a little bit, too.
This is the law firm that I work with here.
Okay. Are you one of the registered owners of the vehicle?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Jerome.
Jerome? I can get it from there, Mr. Jerome. 23, so 6528 for a complainant vehicle. Alright, what's your name, man?
Officer Mayorga said his name was Oscar.
Okay. Do you have a business card, sir?
Yes.
I'm Corporal Steele, by the way, man.
He came and he keeps stumbling.
Do you smell anything?
Yeah. And there's
What do you smell? Okay, I'm just making sure. What type of beer can?
He said it was in his center console when he first got there.
Hey, man, just sit down.
Hey. He moved the beer can because when
What
I got
type of
there,
beer can was it?
he moved it, put it in between the seat. So I looked in there, I saw it, I grabbed it, and it said 7.5% alcohol. Some kind of ale.
Ale?
Did you do anything to celebrate today, man?
No, sir.
No? Listen, man. It's
It's
better to be honest. In our profession,
I took a lot of Benadryl.
listen, in our profession, you know it's best to be honest, right?
No, I know.
Okay.
No, I know. I took
Listen,
out
man.
these Benadryls.
There is a open container of alcohol in your vehicle. Have you been drinking at all today?
No, that's maybe 3 days old.
Okay. I smell the alcohol coming from your breath. Are you willing to perform standard field sobriety exercises?
Okay.
You are?
No.
You don't want to do them? Okay.
Shockingly, Mayorga refused to take the field sobriety test. Instead of immediately arresting him, the officers hesitated, giving him more courtesy than he deserved.
EMS is going to come check you out, and if you have to go to the hospital, then we'll go from there, okay?
No, again, I took 3 Benadryls.
You took 3 Benadryls? What time?
Maybe less than 2 hours ago.
2 hours ago?
You were going into work, why would you take Benadryl, man? You know Benadryls make people sleepy.
I was trying to go to sleep.
You miss your shift?
Are you scheduled to work today?
Yeah.
You see where we're coming from, man? You're not making any sense.
No, I do. No, I do.
Okay, man. We all make mistakes. I get it.
Yeah.
I know our job's stressful. We all make mistakes. I get it.
Yeah.
I know our job's stressful. I get that, man. You sounded like you had a stressful night last night. Okay. Alright. How old are you, man? How old are you?
25.
25?
Sorry, when I was 19.
You started, oh, okay, so you've been here for a while.
Yeah, 6 years.
6 years.
The officers delayed the arrest, waiting for EMS while Mayorga kept lying and making up excuses. It was obvious that he was heavily intoxicated and had seriously messed up.
What's up, man?
So, you guys can take my car back to my house.
I'm pretty sure you're someone from your job's gonna come
Yeah, we can't drive another agency's vehicle.
to your house. Where do you live?
Pretty much, I mean,
You said you lived off of Atwater, right?
yeah.
EMS is here, okay?
Alright.
Need you to be respectful, please, alright?
Oh, no, of course, yeah.
Oh, thank you, man.
I'm not gonna do anything.
Sit. Just sit. You need to take your vest off?
Do you mind hitting me in the back of your chest?
No, man. You want to take all your stuff off?
No.
It might be better for you to take your vest off. I already disarmed you.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Finally, EMS arrived with a gurney, ready to treat Mayorga, but the preferential treatment was hard to ignore. Despite being drunk enough to kill someone on the road, the officers handled him with excessive care.
No, sit down.
You gonna sit down with them?
Yeah.
Alright. What? He won't do it. Yeah, let's go ahead and take your vest off, man.
I mean, I guess not.
Do you want to go?
Not really, but
What do you guys think?
Is somebody come pick them up from here?
if you guys could take care of me right now, I wouldn't mind.
Well, we can't really like treat
Syndrome? So I'm missing the left side of my chest.
Between this arm.
Mayorga admitted to EMS that he had downed 3 large cans of beer. When he refused further medical treatment, the officer finally arrested him on the spot.
Yeah, I think 2 or 3, yeah.
What time was that?
Again, I think it was 3, 4 o'clock.
PM? Like a few hours ago? Is one of those in your car the same one you drank?
No, sir.
That's an older one?
That one's old.
It's actually older?
Yes.
Okay, my fellow officer said it was in your cup holder when you stopped you originally.
Yeah, again, it was there, but it's old.
What's your policy say about having open containers of alcohol in your patrol vehicle? You have to have 6 hours after drinking before you can come to shift?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. And you said you didn't contact your sergeant or anything saying you weren't going to make it to work today?
Yes, sir.
And you're scheduled to work, like you,
Yes,
this is
sir.
your day on?
After a few more questions, the officer officially placed Mayorga under arrest and transported him to the police station.
Did you actually take Benadryl, or was that a not true statement?
No. I
You
really
took-
didn't.
So you took Benadryl and alcohol?
Yes,
2
sir.
depressants?
Yes.
Perform standard field sobriety exercises, man?
If this is gonna put me in jail now,
Well,
I'm just
that
trying to
alone
go-
doesn't put you in jail. You should know that.
I'm just trying to go to work, sir.
You're just trying to go home?
Work?
You're trying to go to work right now?
Yes, sir.
Your condition, you're definitely not going to go to work right now. Hey, can you stand up for me, mommy?
Yeah.
Alright, just come up towards me. Turn around. Turn around. I'm going to pat you down for...
No, I'm just begging you. I don't want to go to jail.
Well, hey, we're all detain you, and we're all figure it out, okay? Go ahead. Don't get
No,
resistance.
no, of course not. No, of course not.
Put your hands like you're praying.
Yeah.
Even the officers on the scene were shocked by Mayorga's entitlement. He showed no remorse and still expected to go home freely.
I can smell alcohol coming off of him. That's a lot of alcohol.
He's sweating it because it's so hot. Do what? Oh, we can go there. I can't, man. I'm telling you, it's our policy. I understand you're a police officer, but our policy, anyone in the back of our car has got to be handcuffed, okay? Sorry to do it to you. I know, man. I know no one wants to go to jail. I understand that, man. minutes today, I believe we just saved your life.
Yeah,
Mayorga was then taken to the police station, where he was questioned about his drinking and given a blood alcohol test.
Does your medication say you should not mix with alcohol?
yes, it does. Yes.
Does your medication say you should not be driving while taking your medication?
No.
Okay. Do you feel the effects of alcohol right now?
No, sir.
In your opinion, are you under the influence of alcohol and or narcotics?
No, I don't feel like it, but if you guys stop me, I guess so.
The test results were shocking. Mayorga's blood level was 0.39 and 0.385, over almost 5 times the legal limit of 0.08%, a dangerously high level. Even more surprising was how he could still speak and walk with that much alcohol in his system. This is proof that heavy drinking was nothing new for him.
So I'm pretty much fired. I can't tell you that, man. I can't tell you. I arrested a deputy once, and he is now working again. So.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said I arrested a deputy once, and he's working again right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna run up my car and grab something.
Okay.
Mayorga was eventually charged with driving under the influence, and given the fact that he was on duty at the time, he was fired, facing the karma that he rightfully deserved. This encounter was shocking to witness, but the entitlement of this next officer takes it to another level.
Don't walk away. I'm talking to you right here.
I started the line right here.
You want to walk on the crack of this line right here.
On April 14th, 2023, an Ohio State trooper stopped a vehicle for speeding 85 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone. But as he approached, the driver immediately flashed his police badge, trying to intimidate his way out of the stop.
Get you out, make sure you're okay, drive.
Okay.
Step on that. You know your tags are expired as well.
I know that already. I work for Cincinnati.
You work for Cincinnati and you got expired tags?
I showed you my badge.
I know, but I'm saying you work for Cincinnati and you drive around with expired tags? How long you work for him?
About a year and a half. I started when I graduated college.
All right. I'm gonna have you walk through the passenger side of my vehicle.
You said walk to the path?
Yes,
This
sir.
side? What do you want me to start?
Just walk back there. Just walk normal.
Just walk?
Yeah, normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were doing the step test or whatever.
No, I'm gonna do HGN first, and we'll go from there. Just stand by my front tire there.
The driver was identified as Cincinnati police officer Justin Shields. He clearly saw himself above the law, expecting to walk away without consequences.
Where do you live at?
You said what?
Where do you live at?
I'm literally going home. I dropped my friend off.
Okay.
We're at my friend's house.
Okay. Cool. All right, just stand right here. Face out towards me. All right, have you followed tip of this pen with your eyes only? Don't move your head at all, okay? Do you have any recent head, neck, or back injuries? Take any prescriptions?
No, sir.
Seen a doctor for anything?
No, sir.
Glasses or contacts?
Nope.
Diabetic or epileptic?
Nope.
All right, just follow tip of this pen with your eyes only. Don't move your head at all. Don't move your head. You can blink at any time.
You said what, sir?
You can blink at any time.
Okay.
The state trooper immediately noticed the smell of alcohol on Justin's breath and his unsteady demeanor. As the field sobriety test began, his behavior was about to take a turn for the worse.
Okay.
You know the process, man. I got to hold it out there for so long.
I know the process. Like I know it.
All right.
It's the light. Like I'm sorry.
I'm trying to keep the light out of your eyes.
Okay.
Just follow to the pen, all right?
Yep. I literally live like 15, 20 minutes away.
Okay. Nothing at all?
No, sir.
Justin was looking for preferential treatment, but the trooper was just not ready to give him any. Moving on, things were about to escalate as he demanded the officer do a breathalyzer test.
You cannot smell anything on me. I can smell gum because I've had gum.
No, I can smell a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage.
You cannot.
I can't.
Okay.
Why would I make it up? Why would I pull you out of the car?
I have no idea. I was speeding, yes. If you want to earn me a speeding ticket and ticket for my registration being expired, fine, that's fine.
Okay. But you're not willing a portable breath test?
No, sir.
I'm going to put you through some more tests.
I refuse.
You refuse? Go ahead and turn around. Put your hands behind the back.
What test?
Turn around.
I will do the test.
So you want to do the test now?
I will do the test. I really just want to meet.
Why are you trying to? You know how this goes.
I know how it goes. That's why I'm asking you why you're doing this. Like I want to get.
Because I smell alcohol. I'm doing my job.
Okay.
Now, officers always seem reluctant to take field sobriety and breathalyzer tests, almost as if they don't trust the very system that they uphold. And in just moments, Justin's attitude takes a dramatic turn, and you won't believe how quickly he flips.
Hey, I will do it. Do you want me to walk on the line?
No, just don't walk away. I'm talking to you right here.
I started the line right here.
You want to walk on the crack of this line right here.
Whatever you want me to do.
That is obviously uneven pavement. No, I'm going to have you walk in front of my car.
Okay, that's fine.
Walk up here.
How many steps?
Walk up. Just walk.
Regular? Not one foot in front of the other?
No, I'll explain it when you get up here. I'm going to have you walk towards my car.
Okay, so just walk regular.
Yes, that's what I just said. You're not listening.
No, I know how it goes.
Stop right there.
That's why I asked.
Turn towards my car.
Okay.
All right. So can you imagine a line going from here to my patrol car?
Can I? Yes, I will use
sure,
this
you can
line
use
right
this line right
here. This
here.
black line that's like
yes,
double.
Yes, sir, you can. Yes,
okay.
You can do that.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to get you in starting position. Stay in that position until I tell you to start the test.
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right. Go ahead and put your left foot on the line with your right foot in front, touching heel toe. With your right foot in front, touching heel toe.
Right foot in front. Okay.
Heel toe. Arms out at your side. Stay in that position until I tell you to start. What you're going to do is take 9 heel toe steps down the line.
I don't know if I can take 9 steps, but I will try.
Realizing his badge wouldn't get him a free drunk driving pass, Justin reluctantly agreed to the walk-and-turn test.
Unless you got Shaquille O'Neal's feet, you'll be fine, and they don't look like Shaquille O'Neal's feet. So 9 heel toe steps down that line. Once you get down that line, you're going to keep your lead foot on the ground. Take a series of small steps, turn around, and take 9 heel toe steps back.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
demonstrate it for you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
All right, turn towards my car. Feet together, arms out at your sides. Same thing, don't start till I tell you to. What you're gonna do is raise either foot off the ground 6 inches. You're gonna keep your legs straight with your toes pointed out. The whole time you do it, you're gonna count in this manner. 1001, 1002, 1003, so on and so forth till I tell you to stop. As you know, the test lasts 30 seconds. I time it with my watch.
Okay.
The whole time you do it, you'll count in the manner I just instructed. You'll stay looking down at the foot that you have raised.
Justin's performance on the field sobriety test was a disaster, far from the confidence he had shown earlier. After one final test, the trooper had seen enough and made his decision.
All right, you can go to begin test.
1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026. I can't, my balance is off.
All right, now you can stop. That's 30
26
seconds.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Go ahead and put your hands behind your back.
Are you serious right
Yes, sir. You're under arrest for operating vehicle impaired. Put your palms together. Bring your arms back. Do you need another set?
What'd you say?
Do you need 2 sets on?
No, I don't.
You don't?
I don't.
Take your watch off and put it in your pocket for me.
This is a Rolex.
All right, put it in your pocket. I don't want any possession of your Rolex.
This officer tells you pretty much everything that's wrong with the police. Ultimately, he was arrested for drunk driving and taken away to the police station.
Palms together. So that's your girlfriend?
Yeah.
She been drinking too?
No.
Just you?
Yep.
All right.
Well, I haven't been drinking, but my friend's been drinking. I got confused with the question. I have
Pretty
not been drinking
straightforward.
whatsoever.
All right, are those too tight?
The overconfident officer was then charged with driving under the influence. He was immediately placed on administrative tasks and kicked out of active police duty. Later, he then pled guilty and was sentenced to 3 years of probation, 16 hours of community service, and a 1-year license suspension. Now that was almost comical, but the next tyrant took things to another level, and karma came for him fast, straight from the higher up.
Let me see your phone. Go ahead and end it.
No.
End it right now. Listen, do you understand what I just said to you?
There is nothing more satisfying than seeing a corrupt police officer getting held accountable, and it is even better when it is done by someone a few pay grades above them. So make sure to watch until the end, as these tyrants were owned and humbled by higher authority. Officer Wayne Casey of the Peevely Police Department caught a glimpse of truck driver Matthew Rankin as he was silently filming a traffic stop from the corner of a gas station. The officer decided to drive off to him, and what followed was downright abysmal.
Hey, Arnold's pulling up. You got the stuff right there. I'm gonna go over there and have a talk with. Right here. What's up, bud? You got an ID with you?
Sorry, don't.
You have no ID with you.
No, I'm not in my truck. Plus, it's not a stop and ID state. I'm not.
No, it is. Do you realize you are in Missouri? It is now illegal to record the police officer. I can seize your phone right now as evidence. That's fine.
So
let me see your phone. Go ahead and end it.
No.
End it right now. Or I will place you under arrest. Listen, do you understand what I just said to you? Stop it right now. Stop it right now. Do you understand? Listen to me. Listen to me. Stop. Stop. Right now. Do you understand me?
Officer Casey crossed a dangerous line, violating multiple constitutional rights when he confronted Matthew, who was lawfully filming a traffic stop in a public space.
It's a live stream. There's no evidence on the phone. You just turned it off, so there's
It is illegal in the state of Missouri to film us.
The Supreme Court's already ruled
No.
against that, sir.
Bull. I'm going to seize your phone
Sir.
as evidence.
Suggest you don't do that.
Oh, I don't care what you suggest.
You don't.
Being recorded right here.
Okay.
Let me see your ID.
You've lost your qualified immunity.
Let me see your ID. Do you understand what I just asked you? Let me see your ID. You're interfering with my traffic stop. Let me see your ID.
I'm on the other side of the street.
It doesn't matter. You're taking my attention away from my traffic stop because now I have to watch over here to see what you're doing to make sure you're not going to harm me. Therefore, you're interfering with my stop because I am now taking my attention away from my traffic stop. Do you understand what I just said?
The officer illegally demanded Matthew's identification, even though there was no solid, reasonable, articulable suspicion of any crime. This overstep is a clear abuse of authority.
But I'm telling you.
Give me, listen, I don't want your explanation. I don't want your explanation. Do you understand that?
Oh, I understand.
Okay then, great. Now that we understand each other.
There you go.
Stand right here in front of my patrol car. In front of my patrol car. And I'm just telling it, you're not out here asking me questions. You understand that? Yeah, no, I didn't. Okay.
That's my opinion.
I don't care what your opinion is. All right? Do you know what a felony is in the state of Missouri from being from Texas? I don't think so, okay? What did you say? No, there is no... Right. Where's your vehicle at, bud?
Here.
Huh?
Here.
Where? Where? Which one? Because I asked you where your vehicle is.
This is yet another case of camera fear taken to the extreme. A regular cop suddenly starts inventing fake laws out of thin air.
Which one? 8 trucks back. Here's the deal, bud. You have no idea what's going on out here, okay?
I have absolutely no idea.
Exactly.
No
So you have, listen. Stop interrupting me. Let me talk. When we're conducting a traffic stop with a well-known drug dealer,
I kind of figured that. Since
Okay.
you made her shake her bra.
I didn't make her do that. She did that all on her own.
I have nothing against what you're doing.
But you're out here trying to record us and trying to act like you know the laws. Shh. What did I just say about interrupting me, bud? Am I letting you talk when you talk? Let me talk. Let me explain things. Okay? You're over here trying to act like, you know, you're one of them guys that want to quote the laws of the cops and act like you know everything and act like all this. I committed federal felony. There's no such thing. You don't even know what you're talking about, bud.
This only shows that Officer Casey has no understanding of the law. He just knows how to exploit his authority.
I've done nothing wrong. I'm well within my rights to do my job. Like I said, you're over here interfering with my stop because now I see you over here. I see something, a red light flashing at us occasionally. I don't know if that's a laser. I don't know what that is. There was some sort of red light coming off of your phone. I saw it several times. That's what caught my attention over here, okay? That's what caught my attention over here. So therefore, you are now interfering with my stop because now I have to take my attention off of this stop to watch you and see what you're doing. To make sure that you're not sitting over here with a weapon that's going to hurt me or my partner or the people that we have stopped over here. I don't know you. I don't know what you're doing over here. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, what you're saying makes sense. I don't agree.
It doesn't matter if you agree or not. Okay? That's what you're doing.
This cop is the exact reason why the police never learned. When Officer Casey couldn't find anything to charge him with, he started making up wild stories, like who even has a mobile with a red flash.
Now, I can seize this phone if I want to, get a search warrant, and search it for any evidence pertaining to my traffic stop if you would like me to do so. Then I would suggest, it doesn't matter. It's still on your phone somewhere, somehow. It is how it works. Okay? I would suggest you get back in your vehicle, let us do our job. We have more than enough officers over here. What's that?
I had no intention of interfering.
But that's what you were doing. No, it's not my opinion. That is, by statute, what you were doing. You took my attention off of my traffic stop. I now had to take my attention and turn it towards you, which is interfering with what I'm doing over there. I would suggest you get, I don't care what you agree with or disagree with, I would suggest you get in your vehicle, bud. Have a good night.
Officer Casey crossed the line, threatening to search Matthew and confiscating his phone, even though he was the victim in this situation. Now, this only raises one question. What kind of justice is this cop enforcing?
More than enough officers over here didn't know what we're doing.
And I wasn't trying to interfere.
But
I wasn't on
you
her side.
were.
I wasn't on
But
their
you
side.
were.
Just watching.
But you were. That's what you're failing to understand here, bud.
And my reasonable opinion, I'll let you know, is that what you just did was illegal.
What?
I'm not going to do anything against you.
What was illegal?
Unlawful detention, unlawful seizure, violation of First Amendment rights. Supreme
First
Court's-
Amendment rights?
Yes, sir.
How did I?
Freedom of the press.
No.
You seized my phone.
Yeah.
You illegally detained me. You illegally
No, I
detained
didn't
me.
illegally detain you.
You have no RAS of a crime.
No what?
The Supreme Court's already ruled that obstruction, interference.
It's a crime here in the city of people.
I'd have to be close to you.
No,
to
you don't.
present a physical
No.
threat for it to actually.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
it is.
Despite the officer blatantly violating his First and Fourth Amendment rights, Matthew remained incredibly cordial and never even raised his voice at the tyrant, who was absolutely fuming.
And even
Do you realize the distance a rifle could shoot?
Yes, but
Yeah.
guess what?
Therefore, so I don't
Isn't
listen.
this a constitutional carry state?
It doesn't matter. If you
So-
have a weapon
no,
pointed
I'm
at me, that's
just-
not legal.
Just
That is not legal. If you have a weapon pointed at me,
So as you
that
saw
is
cell
not
phone,
legal.
You don't have any RAS.
Did I pat you down? I don't know if you got anything on you.
I know. But on the other hand, it would be illegal for me to do that. I believe you guys just went constitutional carry.
Yeah, we can open carry in this state. You're absolutely right.
So
But
if
having
I
a
had
weapon
been
pointed at me is
one
two
of
different
those
things.
First Amendment guys, is what you're talking about.
No.
And I've been standing here with a rifle on my back. It would have been illegal for you to detain me then too, unless I actually had him unsworn.
I never detained you.
You seized my property, sir.
I held on to your phone while I conducted our business.
You seized my property.
That has nothing to. You could have turned around and walked away.
This officer is completely out of line, making no sense whatsoever, while trying to intimidate a law-abiding citizen. His only crime was standing up for his rights.
You could have turned around and walked
So
away.
if I didn't give you ID, you
Nope.
were arrested.
Nope.
So
You
now-
could have turned around and walked away.
You said if your body came
Goodbye. Goodbye.
If I
Have a
stand
good night.
here, are you going to arrest me?
Bye.
I'm just asking a question. If I still stand here, are you going to
I'm
arrest me?
saying goodbye to you.
If I stand here, are you going to arrest me?
If you start recording us again and interfering with my stop, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to seize your phone and I'm going to arrest you for interfering once again with my stop. So I would suggest, yeah, it's right here, bud.
That's on me. Thanks.
Have a good night.
Matthew was let go, but he soon filed a civil rights lawsuit against Officer Casey and the city. Just a few days later, the police department fired Officer Casey, and the city decided to settle with him for $75,000. Now, while this officer got the ending he deserved, this next chief was humiliated even more badly.
Is your camera on?
It is.
I'm the police chief in Tampa.
Oh, how you doing?
I'm hoping that you'll just let us go tonight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll say
Tampa Police Chief May O'Connor was pulled over by a Pinellas County deputy for using a golf cart without a license plate. But instead of taking responsibility, she attempted to exploit her authority, completely unaware of how badly it would backfire.
Good evening.
How you doing?
Good. I'm Deputy Jacoby of the Sheriff's Office. Stopped you because you driving tag or unregistered vehicle with no tag on it on the roadway.
Yeah, we went to the club. It was closed, so we went over and picked up some.
Is your camera on?
It is.
I'm the police chief in Tampa.
Oh, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay.
I'm hoping that you'll just let us go tonight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll say now that you say you look familiar, so.
Yeah, I'm sure I do.
Okay. So, all right, folks. Well, have a good night. Staying over here in East Lake Woodlands?
We live in East Lake Woodlands.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, it's nice to meet you.
It is downright disgraceful how she abused her badge just to dodge a simple ticket. But wait, it doesn't stop there. She keeps digging herself deeper.
So, I'm Deputy Jacoby.
Okay.
Same here, my friend.
All right.
Take care of yourself.
All right,
Sorry
take care.
to bother you.
All right, no worries. No worries. Like I say, we have a lot of problem with the golf carting around here. You know, everybody comes
No,
out.
we don't normally come out.
We
but
never
the club
come
was
out.
closed,
We
so we saw
never,
went up
never.
to the Greek place to get some food.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. All right, then we'll take care. And it was nice meeting you.
All right.
Oh, all right.
You ever need anything, call me.
Okay.
Serious.
All right. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You're welcome.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for yours.
Thank you.
So, take care.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you.
Have a good night, folks.
Following this startling event, Chief Connor was subjected to intense criticism, which then led to her resignation. Here is what the mayor had to say about her sudden decision.
I don't know if betrayal is the word, but disappointment. I think that she was a good choice, and I provide those second chances. You can never know what decisions individuals are going to make down the road, and clearly she made a very poor decision. Ensure that the community is involved, that city council, that everyone has the ability to meet the candidates as we did before.
Integrity and ethics, and what happened here is a constant reminder of the professionals and ethics that they have to maintain.
The chief issued an apology for her actions, but let's be real, it is a very shameful way for her career to end. This chief lost her job, and this next drunk officer had a similar ending for breaking the law.
12, 13, 14.
You can stop.
Perfect.
In January of 2021, a Gainesville police officer responded to what appeared to be a typical accident report and learned that Corporal Scott Birdzick, a fellow officer, caused the collision. However, after speaking with him for a few minutes, it became evident that this was no typical mishap.
Yeah, reached out for my lighter, slammed into his ass.
Cool.
No, not really.
Not really.
No.
You didn't want to do an information
So he
exchange?
does. Now I found it. You know, it's just information exchange. Now I found it.
Alright. Are you okay?
Oh yeah, no, I'm good.
Oh, your airbag went off. Your car's fucked up.
Oh, no, absolutely. Which I just finally got fucking fixed.
That sucks. Police Neil's off. You can come give you a ride.
Birdzick was clearly not in the right state of mind. He struck a car that was stopped at a red light with such force that it flipped over and fell to the other side of the road.
Really cut and dry, so if you want to just go through insurance, you can. If you want a full-fledged report, we can do that. However you want to go about it.
How long will the report take? A long time?
It usually takes about 15 to 20 minutes for me to get the driver's exchange done.
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
Okay. Can I get your driver's license and if you have your registration as well? So a couple things. One, do you mind giving me like a couple feet? One, because I like personal space, and two, because cigarette smoke, it tears me up a little bit. process.
Stephen Gardner had just been hit. As he gathered his documents, the officer then approached another officer who was unaware of what had happened. This is where the situation was about to take a shocking turn.
You know you can't smoke right now.
Why?
You can't consume anything.
Why?
Because if I'm going to do a DUI investigation, it impedes it, so you can't consume anything.
It's out there. I don't give a
I mean about this.
I'm not drunk. I'm fucking pissed and I'm tired. Fuck me. She did it. I don't give a fuck. What the fuck, man?
Birtsick showed no remorse and just wanted to get home and rest as if nothing had just happened, but his night was far from over. Officer Brooke had other plans, and as she began administering field sobriety tests, everything was going to change forever.
While walking, watch your feet at all times, keep your arms at your side, and count your steps out loud. Once you begin, do not stop until the test is completed. Do you understand the instructions? You may begin the test.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Do you want to finish?
Even though the officer was aware that he was drunk, she had to follow protocol. When it came to the walk and turn test, things only went from bad to worse.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
30. Don't walk away.
Reality finally hit Corporal Birtsick when he was escorted to the police station and faced the consequences that he never saw coming.
2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014.
You can stop.
Perfect.
So at this time, I'm asking you to come with me to the station to provide a breath sample. You've been compliant. Can I at least cuff you in the front?
After being dragged to the police station, Birtsick was placed in jail to sober up and had his blood taken.
I'm very sorry. They put you in this position. You have no idea.
Moving on, this corrupt police chief was caught stealing car batteries and was taken to the cleaners.
You ever taken any batteries out and sold the batteries?
No. Believe them checks were mine. This started to piss me off. When I found out they weren't.
It is rare to see a police officer being held accountable for their corruption, let alone a police chief. Today, we bring you a shocking case where a corrupt police chief was exposed for breaking multiple laws and making a mockery of the entire police system. On March 10th, 2018, Buckeye Lake Police Chief James Hansey went over to a residence for a police call and accidentally fired his weapon. This led to an investigation into the chief's conduct, opening up several questions that needed answers.
Just tell me about what happened during the accidental shooting. Obviously, I've gotten stories, a couple different, people told me, but you're the guy that accidentally discharged a weapon, so I can't wait to hear it from you, man.
Jeff Maiden and I were on our way back from Lancaster. We had ate at B-Dubs. We were coming down 79 and we were in the area of Buckeye Lake Beezer Village. And my telephone rang. It was from Darlene Whithofer. I've known the family since, I was a firefighter with her brother Terry and she found her aunt in the middle of the road. And that two guys had broken into her aunt's house and held her at gunpoint. She was able to escape, but the gunman shot one guy. He was laying in the floor bleeding to death, and the gunman was still in the house.
However, Hansey had undergone a finger amputation just a day before the incident and was declared medically unfit for active duty.
Thinking of being on technically light duty, had no gun with me, and with there someone possibly being in that house dying, you guys have done the same thing. You'd have went in. We had 3 people here, and we've been trained. I told Ritter, give me your handgun. Vermaiden went around the side of the trailer to see if there was a door on the back. Cover 3. Vermaiden was the first one in the door, went to the right, because it's a single wide. Went in, and I went to the left, and I held the whole back of the trailer. And the trailer is really dark. And the only lights that's on is their flashlights and a TV in the very back room. I'm standing here, low ready, left hand, and all of a sudden something flashed. I thought someone was coming up at me. When I came up, I hit a corner and put running around, went on the floor.
Okay. Did you have your finger on the trigger or something when you went up?
I had, yeah.
By responding to the scene, he directly violated his department's policy as he had been officially placed on desk duty. Chief Hansey had no clue that this accidental discharge was only the tip of the iceberg, as the detectives had planned plenty more questions.
Was there any conversation about not telling them about the accidental discharge?
Yes, there was.
Okay, was that your call?
Yes.
Okay, and what was the rationale there?
Ritter likes to tell things. And for the integrity of the case, integrity of the accidental shooting, Ritter, you don't have to go tell everybody that we had an accidental shooting. Let's get this investigated first. Let's get it looked at. Let's save the integrity of the case right here before anybody, 1,700 people know.
Sure.
And that was the only reason. But no reason to hide anything. How can you hide an accidental discharge?
Makes it tough. Things go bang real loud.
Yeah, and you got a spent shell. We got the shell.
Okay.
Yeah, I sure did. I told him. Because he likes to tell.
Having no answers to the detective's tough questions, Chief Hansey started to blame other people, starting with the mayor, who clearly didn't have good relations with him.
I called the mayor 6 times and she never called me back. She called Ritter instead of calling my phone. She does that a lot. Just the other day, she's standing there, Ritter's phone goes off. Call from Peggy Wells. He's talking to her. I walk up and say, why aren't you calling me? I'm the chief.
Right.
From years, she's been on council for years, and yeah, she never liked the police department. She's actually picketed against the fire department. She don't like them. She had a big meeting with Randy Thorpe and, Billy was still there, and wanted to see about bringing them in and get rid of us, and Billy and them guys told him, you can't afford us.
Right.
But when she took over mayor, and she took me in on January 19th, I told her, I said, all I want to do is my job.
Yeah.
I want to work with you. I have no hard feelings about nothing.
Shortly after, the detectives pressed at another huge point. Chief Hansey had been working from home and getting paid for the work at the office. Watch the bizarre reason that he had for this.
You mentioned a computer that you had at home, that your excuse was that you had to go home because you had some information on the computer at home that you didn't at work.
My computer at home is set up the same way the computer at the house. I mean at the office.
Okay.
And if I was at my house doing stuff and writing, you can go to my house right now and I can show you the stuff that I've done, changing policies and changing things. I've had permission from our mayor, Kate Carroll, to go there.
Okay. Have you had permission from this mayor to go there?
No, and I haven't.
Okay. All right.
I wish I'd have brought my phone in. The times that they're probably talking about is I burnt my foot right heel really bad, clear to the bone, and I had to have a special boot, and it hurt to walk in it.
Hansey insisted he was working from home, but he had no clue that the detectives were well prepared, as they quickly exposed his claim with a damning revelation.
And I would come in the mornings, I would get the mail like I was supposed to, I would check the phone recorders and do everything else, and then I would go to the house and do what I had to do. You know, but I always had my walkie right there, and they knew this.
Well, I think part of it too was they said they came over, you know, a couple of times, and you were just wearing shorts and a t-shirt watching cops while you were on duty.
No.
And that was the, you know, and then when I checked the records, you had him logged down as hours that day. You know, but my concern is if you're at home that day, you know, and that's true. Let's say that's true what he's saying. You know. If you're just sitting around watching cops when you're supposed to be at work, that could be an issue.
Right.
Obviously, I mean, you're the chief of police. You wouldn't want one of your guys doing that. Why do you think that is, Jimmy?
I would go home a lot, but I would not. I would be in blue jeans or my BDU pants and a shirt that always said police, and I would be doing the stuff that I was allowed to do on the computer for the mayor.
The police chief faced allegations of misusing government funds while staying at home. The situation escalated as detectives shifted their focus to yet another serious accusation.
Junk cars. I wanted to ask you about that too. What are your procedures for junking cars?
Junking cars?
Yeah. Let's say you get a car in an impound, nobody comes and gets it. What is your procedures to get rid of that vehicle?
Run the thing through the state of Ohio. They come back and tell us if there's a lien on it. And then you send that person, or if there's a lien on it, you send that person 10-day notice. Or if there's no lien on it, you send that person, the owner, 10-day notice. And then if they don't collect it, or we get it back, they've got 10 days to pay the towing or anything like that. If not, then I go get a title from the BMV, and then we gather how many other cars we got up, get 3 bids, and then people come out and look at the, you know, like junkyards or private people or whatever. They look at all the cars all at once and give you 3 bids, and the highest bidder gets them.
Okay.
As if the situation couldn't get any worse, Chief Hansey was also accused of removing batteries from junk cars and then selling them for personal profit.
You ever taken any batteries out and sold the batteries?
No.
No. And the reason I'm asking you in this setting, Jimmy, is this is a setting where under Gary Act, you can't be charged with what we're talking about. We can't talk about this criminally.
Right.
Okay, but if that comes out criminally, you know, there's going to be some issues probably with stealing. Okay, so there's been those allegations and a little more than just allegations. Very, very specific things that I've checked out that are not making a lot of sense. Okay, one of them especially being a water pump that was taken off of a truck for Randy.
If anything was taken off them cars, the village already owned them, and they had permission from the mayor to take anything. I personally have never taken anything off the cars, out of the cars, anything. Now Randy and Mark Dimmick has, yes, but they've always had permission, and they've never done anything until the vehicles were owned by the village.
Sure.
Well, one thing was clear at this point: the police department was deeply corrupt, with officers exploiting the system for personal gain.
The village owned it. Did you take any batteries then after they owned it? Did the mayor say, hey, you can take these? I'm trying to, you know, explain it for myself in my head why I've had 2 people tell me the same thing now. 2 different people. One, you know, that I would say is completely on your side, one that says maybe not completely on your side, and they're both telling me the same thing. So I'm trying to figure that out, why in my head that would be the case. So is there a circumstance or an instance where you did take a battery or two after the mayor cleared it?
I've never taken a battery.
Never.
Never.
Okay.
Never.
All right. Well, I needed to ask you about that because, like I said, I've had a couple of them here. All right.
Unconvinced by the chief's claims, the detectives once again asked him about the accidental discharge encounter, asking how he would have reacted if one of his junior officers had made the same mistake.
I took a call, even though they're not cleared to come back for 2 more days. Would you per se, do you have a problem with that?
If it was the same situation that I was put in,
Sure, call exactly the same.
no, I would not.
Okay. And why is that?
Because there was imminent risk of death. He was there. He had plenty enough people to take care of what the situation was. And I believe he has what word do I want to use?
You want to use probably duty to do something, right?
Yeah. And
I assume that's where you're going with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I would not have a problem with that at all. I mean, the accidental discharge was very unfortunate and a bad timing, but, you know, no, I wouldn't have a problem with that at all.
Once again, the accidental discharge seemed to be only a stepping stone for the detectives as they pursued another key issue in the department. The calculation of their pay had been a major problem.
Where you've got all the hours listed for everybody that worked, all the calls were taken, all that stuff.
Yeah, we get the calls and everything out of the computer system.
Okay.
And Jeff would estimate the hours.
How's he estimating the hours? I'm confused on that part.
I worked 80 hours a week.
Uh-huh.
I mean, 80 hours a week.
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks. That's 160 a month, so he'd put 160. He would take what he was supposed to work, divide that by 2. That's what he would get, just down the line like that.
Okay. That's for the full-timers, right? To make sure those numbers are correct.
Those numbers were estimations. They were never correct, not meant to be correct.
You guys are paid by the hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you get paid by the hour, an estimate by the hour? How does that work? Because we have a time clock. We got to turn stuff. I mean, we literally have a time clock.
The detective shifted focus to another major issue, the calculation of officers' pay, which had some significant discrepancies. It turns out the entire police department was being run on guesses.
They're ultimately responsible for making sure the numbers are accurate when they go to Mary, who I assume Mary does some other report as well, or did at the time.
I have no clue. We just turn in our timesheets to her.
But you make a report for city council, or for village council. I'm sorry, if I keep calling it city council, I'm just used to this. You make a report for village council, right?
The end of the month, they would get a report.
Yes.
On with the fire department and every street department and everything else.
Right. And that report is done by who?
Vermaten.
Okay, so Vermaten does the report. He does the report up, and I would assume, since you're the guy in charge ultimately, and you're the one responsible for numbers ultimately, you look at that report.
No.
You don't look at the report that Vermaten's doing?
No, he would come in or on a Friday when I'm off on Fridays, and he knows Monday is the council meeting. He would do it up, and then he would take it over and give it to Valerie. There's plenty of times I would never see that report. I have no clue.
But you know who's coming and going, Jimmy. That's the whole thing I want to get at. You know who's coming and going in the department, and there are people like Schilling. Is it Schilling? Schiller? I know
Jason Schilling.
Jason Schilling.
Yeah.
I talked to lots of people, and they said he only comes during taser training. That's it. And he's listed for 16 hours a month.
Correct.
Every single month.
Correct. Because Frank Foster, our mayor, said he did our radar, he did our taser, and he did something. What else did he do? Radar, taser.
Every officer in the department being paid more than the work they were doing. In fact, one of them was only present for taser training, but was being paid full-time. Here is what the chief had to say about him.
I believe it is accurate because the mayor, Frank Foster, said, we will trade him this 16 hours a month if he continues to train us like that. And that's the way we did it.
I understand what you're saying. I do. I get it. But, a guy like that's invaluable. But you want that guy to actually work. And when you're presenting those numbers to the village council, the numbers don't match what is actually going on. You know, so if you're putting 16 hours down, it looks like that guy's been there for 16 hours that month. He put in at least 16 hours of time, right?
If you wanted to look at it that way, yes.
I don't know, I mean, I really don't know how else to look at it, Jimmy, when it comes to that, because, again, yeah, valuable guy, you want to keep him around, you want to keep him happy, but he's not putting the numbers in that you are saying he's putting in.
Once again, the chief tried to brush everything off onto the other officers involved and even the mayor, claiming that he was agreeing with everything. He had failed to grasp the gravity of the situation and the responsibility that he should have taken.
Every month that she's been there, she's got 16 hours a month. I call her, she says, no, that's not accurate. I call the guy she rides with, Haas.
Jeff Haas.
Jeff says, no, she does not work 16 hours a month. Yeah, you guys put 16 hours a month on that sheet.
Again,
you understand that's a criminal charge. That could be a criminal charge to do all that
there's no
stuff.
monetary value.
There's no monetary value. You're making it public. You're making a public record. You're falsifying a public document because it's going over to village council. You see what I'm saying? So you're falsifying a document that goes over there, and I don't know why. I don't get it. I really don't understand it. You know, but I mean, this is a place to explain it, Jimmy, if you're going to. I mean, this is where it gets explained.
The detectives accused the chief of fraud, which immediately triggered his angry reaction. He was no longer calm and composed as the weight of the allegation seemed to finally hit him.
Let's go to these checks that were cashed for the insurance company. Now, I talked to the insurance company about those checks, and they had some pretty big issues with them.
Mm-hmm.
All right? That may be something that I'm going to have to turn over to somebody else to investigate criminally. If it gets to that point, I may have to do that. I don't know what the insurance checks that when you were transported to the hospital and you were supposed to pay, you were supposed to cash them, and you cashed 4 of them.
Oh Lord, you gotta be kidding me.
See, Jimmy, the problem with an internal investigation is once it starts rolling, it starts opening the door to all kinds of other stuff that comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a duty now to at least address it and try to figure out what's going on. In this setting, again, you're under guarantee, okay? I can't use anything you say criminally, period. Okay?
Oh, I understand.
So, all right, I want you to understand that, you know, before you.
This is funny. These checks, I honestly, wholeheartedly, with my life, believe they were my Aflac checks. Because I talked to John Curtis, you can call him and ask him, I got him in my phone. He says, you've got a check coming, and you're going to have checks coming for your follow-up visits. I just got a check, and you can run out to my truck, I'll give you the keys. I got $3,100 out there. I just got an Aflac check for this.
Okay.
I honestly, wholeheartedly, 1,000,000% believe them checks were mine. This started to piss me off. When I found out they weren't, I made arrangements and they were taking money out of my payroll every month.
They mentioned
I didn't fight the system because I honestly believed they were my checks.
The entire police department was a mess, and the detectives were just dropping bombs at the chief, who should have been aware of this prior to the investigation.
It's your department, your responsibility to make sure those numbers are accurate.
Them numbers were never, ever in the whole world ever meant to be accurate. That was just a summary of what we've done.
Okay.
The only thing accurate in that whole thing was the very front page. That was accuracy.
And it wasn't accurate because you guys missed Ritter's numbers on almost every month.
What do you mean?
Like Ritter's numbers that he had, your call volume is actually way bigger than you guys claim it is. You guys have more calls and did more things than you guys claim. Because you didn't factor Ritter's numbers in. All of Ritter's call records, all his calls, all his stats. Even his hours worked. Nobody calculated it.
The Ritter's not putting his stuff in the computer. That would be the problem there with call volume.
What do you mean put stuff in the computer?
He's not typing his stuff in his CRs and call records in.
Okay.
The detectives had some compelling evidence, which angered the chief, and he went on another tiring rant, as he had no solid argument to counter the mounting evidence of his misconduct.
I don't put down on my timesheet.
So you work an extra hours and not claim?
Yes. My phone would ring constantly, and I'd have to go out. I never put all the hours down, because I know we're short of money, and I don't want to work myself out of a job. You can ask any mayor that.
Yeah. What's the most people you guys have had out at one time?
2.
2?
Yeah, 3.
At any time, any given day?
Usually 2.
Okay.
Noon to 10.
No idea.
So that should, I don't even know why that was put there. That was should have been noon to 10 instead of 4 to 10. And it had been 10 hours.
What time did you guys get back from that trip?
Oh, hell, I don't remember.
Was it dark?
No.
Maybe he tried to come in later, I don't know. But he put down numbers too on that day that he wasn't at work.
Noon to 10.
No idea.
So that should, I don't even know why that was put there. That was should have been noon to 10 instead of 4 to 10. And it had been 10 hours.
What time did you guys get back from that trip?
Oh, hell, I don't remember.
Was it dark?
No.
Maybe he tried to come in later, I don't know. But he put down numbers too on that day that he wasn't at work. The Ritter had to come in because the two of you were both gone. And the dispatch traffic had Ritter on there, not you guys.
Yeah.
And obviously,
here, 4 to 11.
And you're being honest with me that you guys were out there on the 25th.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the problem, Jimmy. And when I turn this stuff over to Mayor Wells and to Village Council, they're probably going to have an issue.
Well, you know what? This was not done on purpose. I probably should do my timesheet every day that I get done, and I didn't. That right there, the 25th, was not done on purpose. And I can understand it looks terrible.
But Jimmy, you just told me earlier that you do it like that you make sure that you don't put that ending on there until you're actually done.
I just started doing that.
Okay, I gotcha.
Because of all this issue of them saying timesheet this, timesheet that, timesheet this.
Right.
And pay is very...
This is, Jimmy, I don't know if you've ever seen this before. This is a couple years of people thinking that you're doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing. A couple years, since 2014.
As the detectives moved to the end of the investigation, Hansy's desperation was visible, as he also owned plenty of the stuff happening. In the end, he once again tried to become the victim in this situation.
I asked if we could get a window tint meter for $48. No, you don't have the money. Seriously?
Wow, $48?
$48. So that's the way we've always been in that village from day one I started. They don't give us nothing. We buy our own paper. We buy our own uniform. They give us a uniform allowance. But we buy our own boots and we buy our own guns and our belts and stuff that whatever the uniform allowance won't cover.
That reminds me of something though, Jimmy, I gotta ask you before you take off here. You threw away a bunch of property the other day.
Shortly after the interrogation ended and after the investigation was concluded, Chief Hansy was charged with 22 administrative counts. Chief Hansy was immediately dismissed from his position and then placed on diversion. As of now, there are no updates regarding the charges against him, and it does remain uncertain whether criminal proceedings will be pursued. Now that brings us to the end of this video. Today we looked into a case of a corrupt police chief who ran his department with zero accountability, allowing some serious violations of the law happen, but fortunately he was removed from his position and held responsible for his negligence and misconduct. Now if you agree, please support us by liking this video. Also, if you did enjoy this video, watch the moments where these entitled Karens messed with the wrong cops.
Please, sir, please. I'll take everything off. Please don't charge me, but I want to go to jail. Please, sir.
I don't want you to take everything off.